Good evening. My name is Miss N. Welcome to Miss N's classroom. Today I will be sharing with you my signature chicken francaise recipe, which I learned how to cook from my Aunt Dee. One afternoon when I was in high school, I called my Aunt Dee from my home that I used to live in New York State. I asked my Aunt Dee how she makes her chicken francaise because I loved it so much. My Aunt Dee explained the recipe to me over the phone. Since I was only a junior or senior in high school, and I'm still not much of a fan of alcohol, I chose not to use the white wine that most people do put in their chicken francaise. My chicken francaise is the non-alcoholic version. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Miss N's Classroom and will join me in teaching you how to make Miss N's signature chicken francaise. Today, to make it a little more exciting for you, I'm going to spice up my seasoning and add a little more flavor by adding crushed red pepper flakes and a little bit of fresh basil to my seasonings. The seasoning is basically, I'm going to keep it simple today for you. I'm using Himalayan sea salt and crushed black pepper along with the crushed red pepper flakes and the fresh basil. I cannot believe I'm sharing this with you because it is a signature dish of mine. The last time I made this was when I was 23. I'm 28 and a half now. So it's been a while, so I hope I don't burn it. In addition to the seasonings and the herbs that I will be using in the recipe, I will also be using butter, my organic unsalted sweet butter, fresh lemon, fresh garlic, and I decided to use chicken breast tender pieces because we'll cook much quicker than chicken breast cutlets or the thicker cutlets, which I actually prefer to use, but to make it short and sweet for you, I'm going to use the chicken tenders and pray that I don't overcook them. I will also be using egg and flour because we are going to need to give these tender pieces a nice coating that will hopefully brown and get a little crispy, not too much of a crisp, but just a little bit of a coating for our chicken francaise, which is basically chicken cutlets cooked in a lemon garlic butter sauce. Most people cook their chicken francaise in the white wine or butter and white wine reduction. However, I cook mine in extra virgin olive oil. It's a flavor preference of mine that I have, and you will notice it over and over again. First, I'm going to show you how to prepare the garlic and the herbs, then we'll do it step by step, so please bear with me. Right here I have my salt, pepper, and crushed red pepper flakes mixture that I have so far. I just did this with it, I shook it around. That's spicy. I might remove some of the pepper actually. It's a little too much for me. I'm going to start out with 4 garlic cloves. So you push down. It's a trick I learned watching the chefs on the Food Network. And throw the skin into the garbage pail because my mom told me that even though we have a garbage disposal in our sink, it doesn't peel our skins. It doesn't break it down properly. Don't worry, I'll clean that later. So I have the garlic, 4 nice sized garlic cloves. I'm going to save the rest of the other garlic for another time. I'm going to chop this like this. You know me, I just like to chop things as easily as possible for me. And actually, I haven't had fresh garlic in a while. While I was thinking about doing this recipe for you, because actually, to start the story on why I decided to do a cooking demo was because I was thinking of doing another voting video, which I'm still planning on making a little bit closer to the election or maybe in the next video. However, I was talking to one of my girlfriends, her female friends. She said that it would be a very boring idea. And I was like, but I already told somebody that I work with that I was making a voting video. And when I told him about it, I said, this sounds very boring. My girlfriend said to me, well, it is boring. And she's like, but Miss N, your cooking videos are the best. You do them very well. And I thanked her, graciously and humbly thanked her. And I was like, all right, fine. So I just thought about it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long it took me. I sat at my kitchen table thinking, what on earth? What can I cook for my viewers that I have not yet done? Something that would be simple for me, simple enough for you to emulate. You know myself, it's been a very long time since I made my chicken francaise, and it had been known through my teen years and early 20s as my signature dish. Word goes around quickly in my family that I make it very well, and even my grandmother, my mother's mother, told me, no offense to Aunt D, but my chicken francaise beats hers. I love you, Aunt D, but when I used to go out to eat dinner to an Italian restaurant with my friends or family, I would order the chicken francaise every once in a while just to see and compare whose is better. Hands down, even ask my friends and family if they were to order chicken francaise, like I might try theirs just to see what the differences are. And my chicken francaise has always won. I should just enter a contest, I guess, but I haven't found one. So if you know of any chicken francaise cooking contests, let me know, please, because I'm very interested in competing, and hopefully my performance in this video does justice to this talent. I'm trying not to sound too egotistical because I'm not just sharing what I've been told. So actually, while talking to you, I have chopped this pretty finely. I'll show you a close-up in just a minute. I guess it is possible. And there is a trick that if you want to make the garlic a little more pasty, all you need to do is sprinkle it with some salt and it breaks it down. I'm not going to do this right now. Maybe another time I'll show you, but today I'm not going to. So anyway, there's my garlic. I'm going to set it to the side on my cutting board so I can cut my herbs for you. I'm going to do the basil first. So I have my Jersey Fresh basil. I'm going to break off a few pieces, and then I will rinse them off and bring them back to you and show you what I'm going to do with these for the seasoning. Just a few. Don't need too many. I'm about to find more uses for this. Some people argue that you're not supposed to cut herbs, you're supposed to use your fingers, but I'm going to do this anyway. I mean, it's not like it never happens. I've seen it. I've seen it done. So you're going to do the same thing. Just like, I mean, most people will like make a, I mean, it's a mess right now, but most people, when they do this, they make it into a nice unified piece or ball or something, and they do a chiffonade, which I'm not skilled enough to do yet. Or I haven't, I mean, probably could do it, but I'm not really trying. I'm just trying to chop this up fine enough so I could add it to my seasoning mixture for the chicken. And I'm just gonna like lightly sprinkle it on, I'm hoping. I hope that I will lightly do it, you know me. I say I'm gonna lightly do something and I just go all out, because I can't help it. So you just run your knife right through it, same thing you do with the garlic. Talk to somebody, keeps you distracted. Try not to do what I just did by not looking at it, because you don't want to chop your fingers off. But, alright, that's good enough. I'm going to add this. That's good enough. I'm going to make sure these pieces are all smaller. Get back in there. Okay. Oh my god, it smells so good. I'm going to add this to that. And then, so I'm going to do this. Oh my god, it smells so good. No idea how good this smells. I wish you had smell-o-vision. So I added it to the bowl. Italian parsley comes in a bunch like this. I'm just going to get a little bit of it. It's actually going to be a garnish for the chicken francaise. So that should be enough. Fresh herbs definitely smell a lot better. Rinsed off my parsley. I'm going to just pull these off the stem. Just do like a quick chop. Just to move on to the more complicated stuff, the messy stuff, part of this recipe. I'm going to leave this and the garlic here for later. The garlic is going to go into our sauce. And as I said before, the parsley's going to go on top of the chicken after it's cooked and after I put the sauce on it. Well, you'll see. I'm going to chop this up a little bit more. And it's okay if you mix the parsley and the basil a little bit. It's not a big deal. It mixes together. Fresh herbs are so good for you. They're so healthy and so cleansing for your body. This is what the garlic looks like. Lemon and the Italian parsley. And here's my basil, pepper, and salt with crushed red pepper flakes mixture for the outside. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take out a couple bowls or plates for the egg and the egg wash and the flour so we can dip it in. You can always recycle these or reuse these. I bought, I'm not going to say which brand, you can probably tell, almost a pound of chicken breast tenderloins. I'm rinsing it in cold water. Doesn't seem that cold, but okay. These are going to cook very fast. Chicken breast tenderloins, fully cleaned and ready to go. Now I'm going to do the egg. I'm going to wash the eggs. My mother used to do this for my sister before she passed. She passed away from leukemia. Cracking the eggs. I'm going to have to wash my hands again. That's the one bad thing about about cooking with raw products like, you know, dairy and meat, is that you have to constantly wash your hands. I think I'm going to add the seasoning mixture to this, a little bit of it. And I'm going to add a tiny bit of water just to make it swell a little more. I hope the eggs is enough. At first I was thinking it was too much, but I think it might not be enough. Mix that in there. It's going to give it a lot of flavor. See? Oops. Don't want it to spill. Stir that together. It's going to be some spicy chicken, I'll tell you that much. Lots of flavor. Lots and lots of flavor. See that? Ooh, I just spilled it. See, I knew I would need more than 3 eggs. Better to have too much than not enough, as I always say. Okay, ta-da! The egg and herb spice mixture with a little bit of water and the chicken. Just to do this part. So I got unbleached all-purpose flour, and I just dump it in here. Dump it. When it was left over, I'm gonna put gloves on, so I don't have to keep washing my hands every 5 minutes. Flour. Don't look at that water spot. Flour. Whoa. Flour. You are going to dip the chicken into the egg, then into the flour. Whoops. Back into the egg. We're going to double wash them. Back into the flour. Onto the dish. Egg. Alright, these are the chicken that we did so far. I know it's a mess, but it's going to be so much better once it's cooked. And this is the egg wash into the flour. I'm going to finish this like this for you. Back into the egg. And back into the flour one more time. And then onto our dish. Okay. Back into the flour. Flour power. Egg. I feel like I'm doing this too many times. All these little pieces, it's not hard to lose track. You know what I mean? Okay. Again, actually 4 eggs were perfect. Because, like I said, it's better to have too much than not enough, and I did a really good job with both. See, it wasn't as much, it wasn't too much like I had thought. Alright. I initially thought. Alright, into the flour. Flour pepper. into the egg. Probably did this 3 times, but that's okay. And back into the flour. We're gonna see how this goes. I hope the pan's not too hot. If it's too hot, we'll let it lower a little bit, cool down for a sec, and then we're gonna get back to it. And the last baby little piece, it's so cute. Look at that little piece. It's so adorable. Gonna stick it into the flour for the first time. And back into the egg, whatever's left of it. There's plenty in here. Woo! So much fun to play with food. I get to use my hands. It feels so much better. I don't have a hard time, taking this off my fingers and underneath my nails, but whatever. All right, this is going into the sink. See, the chicken's ready to go into the pan. I'm throwing this into the sink right now. I'm gonna preheat my pan. I have to pour some oil into it. So I'm preheating my pan while we're gonna do this part. On medium, same with pan as the other day. You want about 1 inch of oil in your pan because you're gonna basically fry these. And see, the flame is on medium. Medium heat. The nice, beautiful blue, inexpensive pan, that's oil. Extra virgin olive oil. Gonna let that heat up. You can tell by the smell that it is, but you can just take a little bit of water and splash it into the pan. Hear that sizzle? Those little bubbles. Carefully dip these into the oil. We're gonna turn them over after they start getting a nice coating on one side. If you overcrowd the pan, it's not gonna cook well enough. I'm gonna turn the heat back on to medium. Medium, a little more than that, and see what happens. Chicken in the pan cooking. And this is the chicken not cooked. Chicken in the pan cooking, not cooked. I'm gonna have 2 separate forks, one for the chicken in the pan and one for the not cooked. See, look at that. And I probably could have let it sit a little longer, but I'm gonna probably end up turning it over again. Anyway, it's almost like fried chicken, but it's Italian infused. If I would have put too many in, they wouldn't be like that. Look at that coating. It looks like McDonald's chicken strips. They're close to being done. Flip them over. They're getting nice and golden brown and crispy and tasty. I can just smell when they're finished. These are done. Let me get another fork. I think they're done. I'm going to put them into this plate. They're going to go back into here afterwards anyway with the sauce when I make it. These are finished. Then I'm going to put the rest of them into the oil. These might be a little more done because once the oil gets very hot, it's going to overpower the chicken. I only have 4 pieces left, so this should go pretty quickly. And these are just going to sit and hang out for now while these cook. Then we will put it all together. Please stay tuned. The more empty the pan is, the quicker these will cook. Slash batch that we're cooking. And I told you before, it will get really dark, especially the ones in the front where the heat's going. I'm going to try to move this around to get more heat to the back one because that one back here is pretty light and could be cooked a little more on the outside. But these are beautiful, and they're actually more crispy than the other ones. I'm probably going to throw the other ones back in here once these are cooked. It is absolutely incredible how quickly these guys cook. I'm going to add the other ones back in just to finish those off, and I'm going to remove everything. I'm going to start doing the sauce, and I'm going to just put these in here and turn off the flame until I get these done. I'm going to take out the ones I just cooked and put the other ones back in. Because I think they could be a little bit done more. This is what I like. I like crispy. It's olive oil, don't be afraid. Like butter, extra virgin olive oil is your friend. It's my friend too. How about that? If you want to get the juices going, which I do, you're going to take the lemon, the palm of your hand, and rub it, and roll it, and rub it. And keep just rolling and rubbing. You get the juices out. And you can smell it too. You know when the juices are flowing in this lemon, and you can smell it. in the peel. You get that lemon fresh scent. Right now I'm smelling the garlic and the parsley, so it's kind of hard for me to smell the lemon, but I can feel it juicing. juicing. I learned this method from watching the Food Network as well. Watching that channel and other cooking shows, like I told you before, I've learned just by watching people, even at restaurants, I will on occasion ask the chef when I went with my mother to her favorite sushi Japanese restaurant. I asked the chef, because we were sitting in front of him as he made her sushi, I asked him how he keeps his avocados so green, and he said that it's where you buy them and by not putting them in the refrigerator. It keeps them green, they don't turn brown, and his avocados were perfectly green and tasty and perfectly ripe, they weren't bad. He got them from a special farmer's market. I don't know which one I should have asked. Going really well. Alright, I'm gonna do this a little more. My arm hurts, so switched hands. I have a little over a half a cup of butter left. We're gonna use this remaining butter in our sauce. I'm going to remove the rest of it from the pan for now. I'm gonna pour out most of this. I'm gonna put it on a low medium, more towards the low side. And so I'm going to take my almost half a stick of butter. It's half full or half empty, depending on how you want to look at it. I'm going to say it's half full. I'm going to take the stick of butter, lower the heat to a low, and I'm going to let it sit and melt away. While we're letting the butter sit and melt away, I'm going to slice. We got it going a little bit faster. Most people cook their chicken francaise in the butter. I'm just going to put it in lastly, the chicken in with the sauce. And it's still gonna have a lot of sauce, trust me. Trust me on this, please. You can even use the whole stick of butter. The more liquid you have, the better, I say, for this kind of a sauce. Because it's supposed to, chicken francaise is supposed to have, it revolves around the sauce. It's what's in your sauce that really matters. But I'm gonna throw the garlic in. All right, I'm gonna dump the garlic into the butter. We're gonna try to saute it a little bit and get it to cook translucently. And okay, I got a wooden spoon. I'm gonna mix the butter and the garlic together. We don't want the butter to burn. I mean, the butter or the garlic to burn, actually. And oh my god, that's some spicy chicken. Flavorful. It's not boring at all. It's a good thing I added the basil to it. And the crushed pepper flakes, which I normally don't do, but I was inspired to do it. The more flavor you got and the most simple ingredients that you have, the better. Seriously. And this isn't even that expensive. I went to the store and the only thing I didn't need to buy was the salt and the pepper and the crushed pepper flakes. Everything else I did buy. And the olive oil I didn't have to buy today either. But I did buy, and then the butter. The only things I bought today were the lemon, the parsley, the basil, flour, and the chicken breast tenderloins. Other than that, everything else was home. So in total, all those ingredients came out to a little over $12 in total. That's not bad. And even if I would have bought the spices and everything together today, it wouldn't have come out to $20. The olive oil, it would, but it'd be more. Olive oil is so expensive, but it's something I can't live without. Okay, the garlic is coming down. I'm gonna raise it a little bit just to get the garlic going for a moment. Here's the chicken, the garlic and butter, and I'm smelling it. The garlic and butter together is so good. You could even do this on some Italian bread and make your own garlic bread. Just slice the loaf open and pour this with some of the on top of it, and then finish it off with the Italian parsley. Even put some Parmesan cheese or mozzarella cheese, or even both cheeses. I love cheese. I can never get enough of it. By now, don't you? You just put them together and it's a delicious meal. Yeah, I can hear it now. It's coming. It really is. When I planned this meal, I realized that even though I'm not making any side dishes, the garlic bread actually is a good idea for on the side. But you can even put spinach in here, steamed broccoli, broccoli rabe, spinach, any other type of green, kale. It will go really nicely in the sauce. And you could serve this with a side of pasta, rice. I like couscous. I used to make this with couscous, actually. I'm going to slice my lemon and then squeeze it into the butter. You don't want to miss this. Close up. And who cares about the seeds? Just pick them out later. And I used to actually drop the lemon in here, but I'm not going to this time. I'm going to save that for a garnish. I'm going to slice it up. So that's a really, this side of the lemon was so juicy. You see that juice pour right out? That's how you know you worked it out good. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna let this cook together for a little bit on a medium heat before I add the chicken to this sauce. Slice this lemon for a garnish. We'll just use it for this. So you know there's lemon in it. It is bubbling. Bubbling sauce. Time to add the chicken back, piece by piece. We're gonna gently try to toss it front to back to get some of that sauce on both sides maybe. And we're gonna pour it into this dish that I have on the side. Got that. Give it a good shake. And that sauce, see, look at that. That piece turned over on its own. Flip that one over gently. Look at that garlic. Oh my God, I'm about to break this. I don't want to break it. I want to gently turn you over. All right. Wow. And if you don't want pasta, rice, or couscous, you could use corn. Doesn't really matter. Mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, roasted potatoes. Garlic mash would go really nice with this. Then you're like all out on the garlic. Garlic is so good for you. In just a moment, I'm gonna toss this into the plate. Not using the pineapple plate today, I'm sorry. Maybe I'll eat on it, but I don't know. No, we're not gonna use it. All right, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna turn this off. Pour this right into our dish. I'm going to garnish this with some of the Italian parsley. Italian parsley. Italian parsley. Some of that lemon, because you want to know we have lemon in here. We're just going to plate it like this. And there you have it. Miss N's chicken francaise. It's beautiful, isn't it? And it's so tasty. I'm about to taste this. Beautiful chicken francaise. Yum, and there's that sauce. Look at that. That's the sauce with the garlic and the butter and the lemon. That is one beautiful dish. Mom's little dishes. I have chicken francaise. Some extra parsley. This is the moment of truth. Is it cooked? Yes. Wow. Can you hear that crunching? That is some crispy coating. The parsley gives it a really nice, fresh taste to that garlic and butter and the lemon. It's actually not spicy at all. It has a very light, delicate flavor. I can't wait to eat more of this for dinner. There you have it. Miss N's signature chicken francaise dish. I hope you enjoyed watching my show, that you will go out and try to make this dish at your home. Maybe share it with your friends, your loved ones, family. Please stay tuned for more of Miss N's classroom videos. Thank you and have a great night. Bon appetit. Bye.